Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Belief Mel.
And we're here with episode 147 of
How many? What is happening?
I don't know. Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Belief Mel.
And we're here with episode 147 of How Married Are You?
Okay, my name Belief. This is Eva, and we've been married
12 years.
Live in California, and we got four
kids.
Relationships scary. It's very necessary. We share all of our struggles. We ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions. We got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and
It's chocolate baby story time.
you want to go first?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have made the official decision that I will be full-time homeschooling our children next year, and I am feeling both excited and exhausted.
All right, what brought you to that decision?
So I realized that the reason I homeschool, right now we're currently doing a hybrid model. So it's like every day of the week is scheduled out for us. 2 days a week the kids go to school. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do on Monday, then the kids may not be set up for what they got to do on Tuesday on campus. And so I was realizing this is stressing me out. Mm-hmm. And as it's stressing me out, my stress is starting to pour over onto the kids. And I'm like, this is not the vibe that I want for my homeschooling environment.
Yeah.
So I was like, if this is what if they want to have like a really drilled out schedule, then I'm going to send them to public school. And that's not something that we want to do. So I decided that I enjoy teaching. I have so much fun. I can really be creative when I have full autonomy over the curricula and lesson plans and all the things. And so while I know it's going to be it's going to require a lot of me, I am looking forward to it because I think it's what's best for me and them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good luck to you on your journey.
I will definitely be roping you in.
I know, I understand. I'm excited for a couple lessons that I have planned without you knowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anaya and I made brownies, and it was really just good daddy-daughter time. She was like licking the bowl and like the spoon, and like she was like had a nice face, and then she starts licking it, and she starts to like
she looked crazy.
She looked crazy.
Unfortunately,
like,
I think
happening?
our kids got my sweet tooth. It's really bad.
Yeah. And I'm like, why do you like it? Chocolate. And it was like she just turned into a whole different person. She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into this topic today, babe. What do we have?
All right. So if you have been subscribed to our email list, you may have already seen me. I sent out a letter on how to love my spouse when I don't like them.
Oh, man.
Because if you've been married even for a week, you know. Maybe a week's too short. You think they're still in the honeymoon phase after a week?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
if you've been married even 2 months, then you know that you love this person, but they just sometimes get on your nerves and you don't know what to do with them. So today we're talking about ways that we love our spouse even when we don't necessarily vibe with them. You know, and I shared a few ways, and Glenn has come alongside me to, maximize the list, I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
The first way that I love my spouse when I don't like him is I give him and myself space. Sometimes I will remove myself from the situation by like, hey, I'm going to just go take a walk, or hey, like I'm going to go hang out with a girlfriend, or hey, whatever. And then even sometimes I give him the space that he may need to just regroup.
Yeah, I need time. I need space and time.
Yeah.
A lot of time. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, all right, what do I know to be true?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is hard sometimes because we are at the stage where there's not a lot of new things coming up.
Yeah.
So the stuff that we have been talking about has been the same things for a few years.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, but just slightly different. It's like a
Yeah.
word problem. You kind of like,
Yeah.
it's like slightly
That's
off. You're like,
exactly
wait a
it.
minute, how many apples did Johnny have? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, no, they're pears.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like I've been working on it with Theo, like where he'll get a math word problem and it's like testing a certain concept, right? But then he'll get another word problem that's worded differently because he's just looking for the numbers and the names of the people to change.
Yeah.
But he's not paying attention to the context of the actual problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same concept or concept that he's trying to be, or the same math skill that he needs to develop. However, he doesn't understand how it's showing up in different contexts. And I feel like with you and me, that is me. Like the things that you get irritated about or the things that I do to irritate you, it's like, but wait a minute, I did better. Like I didn't do it like I did it the last time. And you're like, no, but this is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
yeah.
And
I think it's interesting because when you have a word problem, right, and it's in a textbook, you can get a wrong answer. But if you don't understand a question, you can just say, can you rephrase that? Right?
Yeah.
And let's not get it twisted. Math books don't be using the right phrasing all the time. That's why it's a math book and not an English book. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't be, it makes it super complicated and it don't gotta be. But the relationship stuff is just, sometimes we just need a little space to I need proximity so I can think without having to see and hear you.
Yeah. I would even say in the vicinity of space, sometimes, we obviously live in the same home. And so sometimes the space can just be like tabling the conversation, like instead of having the conversation, let's just turn on the TV and watch, like get lost in a series or something.
You will get lost in a series.
But I mean, together sometimes we'd be like, we know we should be talking something out, but we just are like, let's just turn the TV and watch TV right now. Because
really, I don't think that happens that often.
It doesn't happen that often, but I think that is a way that we, or maybe it's just me.
I know that sometimes I'll be like, oh, what episode are you on? You'll be like episode 3, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, oh, you're still on episode 3? You're like, no, this is season 2. I'm like, dang.
Why are you airing out my business now, sir?
I'm like, good Lord. It's so good, babe. You wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
That's like how she gets her space. Oh, this is so good. You hate it.
And then another way that we love through the icks or whatever you want to call it is communication. Mm-hmm. I do think that sometimes communication, or all the time, communication is necessary. Like after you've given your spouse or significant other that space, then you should come back to communicate about whatever the issue is. Do you think there's ever a time when communication is not necessary, though?
Well, yeah, when I over communicate.
No, that's not what I mean. Yeah, that is more so limiting communication. I'm saying like communication is just not necessary.
I don't know about that. Like, what communication not necessary?
Because I'm wondering, like,
in what situation is communication not necessary? I'm trying to think. Yeah,
I feel like there is a situation. I feel like there is something like, okay, maybe it's like I have had to, and I guess this is going into number 5, but I have had to like remind myself we're on the same team. You know what I mean? Like he didn't do that to actually like harm me or hurt me.
That is so crazy.
It's just ignorance.
That's so crazy to me because I've never done anything to hurt you. It's so wild to me. Mm-hmm. There's like the concept of being like you having to talk that into yourself is like, that's so wild because I'm always like kind of like, you brought it up or like you posed the question. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm always kind of like, you never know where you're going to push me to by asking me a question. You know what I'm saying?
Say more.
So like, you may be like, I really want you to do something with your life. Do I gotta like fuzzy or something?
I feel like you might need to like shape up your. It's like they're all going different ways.
Yeah, I'm woofing right now.
Sorry.
That's what it's called. Me and Lily got the same haircut.
No.
You want love? Okay. Hey, Lily. She was knocked out.
Why'd you wake her up? She was chilling.
I thought the team wanted to see her.
No, they don't.
The wedding party? Y'all don't want to see this dog?
No.
Love you.
Now she's not gonna go.
Yeah. So anyway, I would say that like, hey, I want you to, do something with your life, or why don't you do this? Or I have this big idea, you know what I'm saying? Or why don't you, and it's like, okay, cool. I'm doing something and you're uncomfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when you communicate, it will lead me somewhere, but it will often cause you to be uncomfortable. And you don't necessarily think that yet. I don't know if you even know what you're asking. Sometimes I think you're just talking to make conversation. No?
I don't know about that.
Like, did you really want me to be a DJ at some point? Like, you really wanted me to DJ weddings?
I saw how much money you was making, and I was like, dude, if you DJ 2 weddings a month, you're good. You're golden. Like, we're set. Just do it. At that time, I don't know how much DJs, they're probably making a lot of money right now.
Not really, because freaking, like, I think all the playlists, like, you don't even need a DJ anymore. You can just play a playlist. You know what I'm saying? But people are still DJing. But it's like now they travel to DJ. It's like a big thing, you know? I'm getting back into spinning records, too. I'm pretty pumped on that. It's a sidebar. When did I sell my turntables?
It was Raya. Raya was a baby.
Raya was a baby. We needed money, and I was struggling, and I had 2 Technique turntables. They were kind of busted. I had 3 of them, actually, and I sold all of them for like $500. And now they are like $1,200 a piece. And that was rough. And so now I'm having to get my DJ gear back, because with our new company, Belief in Music, we're going to need some scratching and stuff like that. So I'm pretty pumped on that. But anyway.
Did you already swipe the card?
Yeah. You wanted to get it for me as a gift?
No, you just usually tell me when you're swiping the card.
Nah.
Not anymore?
Not this time.
The communication.
This is my get back. This is my get back, man. I sacrificed. Sacrifices. I made sacrifices. Yeah. So communication. I think communication is always important. But sometimes when, if I'm communicating something to you and I'm saying, hey, this is my desire, this is what I think I need, you know what I mean? I'm also realizing that if you start doing what I want you to do, it's going to cost me something, right? For instance, like, I have a relationship and I was just like, hey, I really want you to speak up when I hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And then they started speaking up, and I'm like, man, I don't want to hear this bull crap. I don't want to hear that. This is taxing.
It's like you have to honor the growth.
Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, well, at least you're talking.
I know.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Another way, I think it's interesting because 3 and 4, we have 5 ways, but 3 and 4, I think, has to do with physical touch. And like how we love through the disliking is like when Glenn and I are in a tiff, he is very distant. Like or used to be, can be sometimes. It's hard for him to like come close.
Turn towards you.
Yeah. He's more like,
why am I like that?
He feels like he has to protect himself from me or something, right?
Yeah.
You think you're on guard. And so for me...
Do I have to protect myself from you?
No. I love you.
I think that is so interesting, because the same way I was like, I would never do anything. I never do anything intentionally to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I feel like, man, if I let her in right now, I'm going to get hurt. Learn something new every day. All right.
Yeah. And so for me, like, it's not... I am not the partner that naturally initiates intimacy. And so I will, to help like melt the ice, I will often initiate intimacy toward the end of a tiff in order to like connect.
Yes.
Like, I love you. I need to feel loved right now. It's kind of like last episode when I was talking about Uriah's hugs.
That's not at all what it's like.
But
and
like,
I hate the comparison.
I want to.
I hate it.
I need you to touch me because when we have that, I feel, I don't know, safe or loved or like, you know what I mean? Cared for. But when you're like, whatever, you're just kind of like, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like,
It's cold for me out here.
I know it's cold for you, but I'm just thinking like, I really want to resolve the issue.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get resolved. It's just like, ta-da, sex.
No, and I'm not saying sex as a way to like mute the issue or erase the issue. I'm just saying as a way to like soften hearts and make one more
I don't think we have any times in our whole history. We gotta look back at the Heavenly video because like when we die and we ask God, hey, run that back real quick. Anytime after sex, we've been like, okay, so my issue was.
well, not immediately after sex, but it makes the conversation. Yes, we have.
Okay.
I don't like you.
That's the teaser.
That is true.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's true.
I would say that the thing that I would say that is something I do is like pamper you. Try to anyway. There was a time when I had decided that whenever
I have decided to follow Jesus. You don't mute my mic.
I'm trying to talk,
It just reminded me of that song.
that when you were on your period, I would give you a foot rub as a way kind of just like, I don't really like you right now. Let me give you something.
Oh, what happened to those? I remember those.
Yeah.
Bring them back. Bring them back. Bring them back.
You like that?
What's that song? Bring them back.
Bring them
back.
out. Bring them out.
Oh, is it Break them out?
Bring them out.
Bring them out.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll bring those back on your period. Well, it's always crazy too because whenever you're about to get on your period, it's always like, why is she so irritated? And I'm kind of like, am I allowed to ask you if you're about to be on your period?
No, just look at the app. Don't ask me.
Oh my God.
Because then that makes me even more irritated.
But if it's true.
But here's the thing. Let me just keep it real out here in these streets. I have been noticing within the last few periods. Oh my goodness. I can tell when my period's about to come because I'm like, everybody's getting on my nerves. I need to sell them to the highest bidder and like, I'll be fine. It's crazy.
Yeah, when you're talking about selling a dog that whole week you were on your period.
Was I?
You're about to be on your period that whole week. And the kids were like, mom's gonna sell Lily. She's gonna sell Lily, Dad. I was like, no, she's not.
I have noticed it and I was like, man, hormones are such a trip. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy, but it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was doing the feet massage and scrub and rub thing is because I'm trying to like do something. I'm just trying to offer something, some type of relief. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For you. But at the same time, like remind myself that like, you know, you still need that care, you know, in a way that it's obvious I'm not trying to get sex after this. You know what I'm saying? It's like service. This is only about serving you right now. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The last way that we love each other through the icks is self-talk. Glenn said self-talk. I said turning inward. You want to talk about your self-talk journey?
Yeah, it's just reminding me, you know, what I know to be true about our relationship. Yvette as a mom, Yvette as a wife, Yvette as a woman, all the other things that she might be going through. I'm very sensitive to your experience. You know what I'm saying? At least what I know. But at the same time, you know, you know, like we said before, like perspective is everything. You know what I'm saying? And so me understanding that I don't understand exactly what you're going through is enough to just know that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to be responsible with that information.
Yeah. I think when I say turn inward, my thing is like, what really is the irritation? Like, is this hormones? Is it because I'm on my period or I'm about to be on my period? Or is this because it's actually something that needs to be addressed? And sometimes there are factors that impact like my dislike that have nothing to do with you and everything to do with what I have going on. There's too much going on. I'm too busy. I haven't gotten enough sleep, or I haven't prioritized things correctly, or I'm not managing my time well, or whatever it is. And so those things impact my irritability levels.
So I know I do a lot of things that irritate you. You don't talk about those things a lot. You just end up irritated. And then you laugh it off as like kind of like, see, like, you know what I'm saying? Are you able to, is the goal for me to not irritate you? Or is the goal, like, is the goal for me to get better? Or is it for you to control what makes you upset?
Okay, so I think too, like the inward part of it is realizing how much of it is a matter of me wanting to control things versus you actually doing anything wrong. For example, we've brought it up time and time again, the way you load the dishwasher. That there's not necessarily anything that you're doing wrong. I don't believe that.
Okay, well,
let me
speak
take it
your
back.
truth.
Let me take it back. I don't believe that. I don't want to lie on public television.
I'm doing it wrong.
I do believe you're loading the dishwasher wrong. However, will the dishes get cleaned the way that you loaded them in?
Probably not.
Sometimes they don't because yeah. But like I feel like I've communicated about the dishwasher loading enough that it's kind of like, okay, I kind of like give up. Is that bad?
No, you know what's crazy is that last time I loaded 2 times ago, I loaded the dishwasher and you like lived in the kitchen and you didn't unload the dishes, right? So I unloaded the dishes and I noticed that the dishes weren't clean. And I was like, I loaded the dishwasher wrong. These bowls were too close together and the food was still on the side of the bowl. So I have to load this differently.
You also have to rinse the dishes before you put them in. Like I know some people are like, no, the dishwasher, but you should rinse the dishwasher.
And now at that point, it's kind of like, well, if I'm going to rinse the dishes and the water's hot, why can't I just wash the dishes?
It's different.
I know it's different, but my mind is too many options.
And the other thing about it too is like if the kids have oatmeal, when they put the bowl in the sink or when you put the bowl in the sink, fill it up with water. Because dried up oatmeal on a bowl is no good for nobody.
It's
so if you
sharp.
at least soak it into, like if you at least soak it with water, and then when it's time to load the dishwasher and you rinse the oatmeal falls right off, and then you put it in and it's like,
I know how to do that.
Oh.
I just don't do it all the time, right? And sometimes the kids put their stuff on the top of the counter, and I don't rinse it out immediately, right? And so,
and that's a training thing. We could train the kids to
yeah, and that's just being. But I'll be feeling like right now I'm on the border of petty because there's some things that I'm kind of like,
oh my goodness.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go where you're going to go.
I'm not going there. I said I'm on the border of petty. I didn't step into petty. I'm on the border. I'm looking over and saying, is that safe if I bring some of stuff up? Because I have things that I've experienced.
Let's just give one example.
I told you.
One example.
I don't want to give an example.
I want you to.
I don't want to give
Why
an
are
example.
they just getting out of the car?
Yeah. I don't want to give an example. I'm just saying that there are things that we can understand. What's going on with you?
Oh, I don't know.
We can understand that it's going to take some time. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things about...
We've been married 12 years. How much time is it going to take?
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Like this. Like,
just
here's
kidding.
one thing.
Okay. I knew he was too petty to.
Here's one thing.
What?
When I get out of the shower, I'm expecting the lotion.
Oh my goodness. It's in our room.
Listen, when I get out of the shower, I'm expecting to find the lotion on the countertop in the bathroom. Yvette takes the lotion out of the bathroom and puts it on her side of the bed and lotions her body on her side of the bed. You know what I'm saying? So when I get out of the shower, I gotta go, and sometimes the lotion's in the car.
What?
And sometimes it's downstairs.
No.
And sometimes she felt like lotioning in, or sometimes the kids take it. And I'm like, I don't ask for much. When I get out of the shower, my Trinidadian skin, you understand me? I got 3 minutes to apply lotion to my body after I pat my skin dry for the lotion to take effect. If it doesn't happen within 3 minutes, I am ashy for the rest of the day. I need the lotion inside of the bathroom. And Yvette, it's like a hunt. It is like a freaking Easter egg hunt as soon as I get out of the thing, looking for the Jergens.
Are you gonna plug Jergens? They ain't sponsor this either.
Or Dove or whoever's paying.
Ew.
Ain't nobody paying on this. Ain't nobody. We don't see no sponsors on this podcast. Anyway, all I'm saying is, I think that's one thing that's like, come on now.
Yeah.
I don't like this. You know, and it's frustrating too, because then I got to take, especially right now, because I got to step out of the bathroom into the cold atmosphere, ashy. And the cold is just like,
Oh my goodness.
it's like sucking to my skin, right? You know?
Can we talk about somebody on the comments? I don't know which video, but they were like, "Why does Glenn's stories always his horror story is always on the toilet?" Because whatever it was, it's like you're talking about how married you are, and the what is it called? The duvet.
Yeah, the duvet.
The duvet. Yeah.
Bidet. You trying to say duvet and bidet? No.
Duvet is a cover for the.
Yeah. The bidet, and then the lady on the toilet with the lady
And
housekeeper.
now you just in the bathroom. In the bathroom is where all your troubles come.
That's where I spend my time. In the bed, in the bathroom. Everywhere else around the house, I'm fixing stuff. The only place I need to be secure is in my own room.
Oh my
And in the bathroom.
gosh.
That's
you
it.
know what, babe?
And
I
then
got
you touch my loofah, my pillow. Like, these little things, these are my areas. Don't touch my stuff.
I touch your loofah. I just switch it out.
I know.
I do you a favor.
I understand that.
But I got you. The next How Married Are You? You just watch and see what it is.
What is she doing?
I don't know. She's wondering. How married are you, my love?
Oh, I don't have one. I'm so married that I put up those blinds in the bedroom. Yeah. What? That's not good?
That was for us. That was not for me. But,
That was for us.
I mean, you did get it done.
Let me explain something to you.
Oh, God.
My wife be buying stuff. Now, you picked out all the curtains in the house. We got pink curtains. We got red curtains. We got flowers. You know what I'm saying? And Yvette just be picking them out. And I said, hey, babe, why don't we get this together? And I put it up and I installed it. I felt like that was a good job.
You did an excellent job, my
Oh,
love.
you know what? Forget that. I'm so married. The other day, after I did the blinds, Yvette started nesting. She was making dresses and putting up cabinets and all types of stuff in the house with countertops and all this stuff for the kids. And she doesn't understand. She just be like, is this the right one? She don't know what she doing, y'all. So I'm looking at her. I'm like, you can't do it like that. You got to do it like this. And I'm watching her and I'm like, I'll do it. And I take over the project and I hung up the floating shelves for Yvette.
Which I definitely appreciate. That was a good one. But I will just protect myself. I was doing it right. I was doing it how you taught me to do it. It's just the drill hole thing wasn't big enough. And you didn't teach me how to choose which drill bit to use when it's time to drill the hole. And then when I asked you, hey, babe, how do I know which one to use? You couldn't tell me.
I couldn't tell you because it's trial and error sometimes.
Yeah, see? And then the other thing, the other thing is that wall is malfunctioned. Come on. You had to really kind of figure stuff out because that wall was just a horrible wall.
It's the house is jacked. It's the house. It's not the wall.
But you know what I'm thinking right now?
Huh.
On the other side of that wall, what is that?
The
'Cause we
house?
could have another room.
And who gonna build it?
We'll figure out somebody. Ask me.
Not me. I'm already telling y'all I'm not doing it.
Babe, can you ask me how married I am?
How married are you, babe?
Okay. So this morning.
All I see is clothes at the toilet. What is that?
So Glenn and I both, I will admit that I do it just as much as he does it. We will like
Rapture pants?
Before we get in the shower, we'll sit at the toilet for a minute and then we'll go into the shower, right? But when we leave the toilet, we leave. It's like your pants and your underwear.
Socks, drawers, underwear.
And you just stepped out of it. And so this morning when I was getting into the shower or when I was done in the bathroom, I was like, you know what? Let me pick up both of our set of clothes, and put it in the dirty clothes hamper. And I'm so married that I got both sets of the raptured clothes and sorted them into the laundry.
Yep.
And that's just how married we are.